parking spot in downtown San Francisco rents for $400 a month. In Japan right now, there are houses, not ruins, not empty land, real houses with multiple bedrooms and working kitchens listed for less than that annual parking bill. Total, one purchase, yours forever. Today, we cover 10 of them across 10 different regions of Japan, each one cheaper, stranger, or harder to explain than the last. And the one at number 10, I genuinely did not believe the price when I first saw it. Do not leave before we get there. Shibata, Niigata. Shibata, Niigata Prefecture, a castle town on the Sea of Japan coast, 270 kilometers north of Tokyo. About 95,000 residents, down 8% since 2010. Picture this. You step off the Shinkansen at Shibata Station, 70 minutes from Tokyo. A covered Shotengai arcade in front of you, still trading. 2 kilometers away, a 4-room detached house with an Engawa porch and garden lists on Akiya, Japan at 4,800,000 yen. That is 31,000 US dollars. The bullet train connection is not a bonus, it is the whole argument. Listings run 3 million yen to 6 million yen per akiya-banks.com. Shibata City Hospital, 8 minutes by car. Full NTT, Hikari fiber coverage. Reality, the shopping arcade has vacancies. Japan's purchase process requires a judicial scrivener, a registered seal, and local legal fees of 200,000 yen to 400,000 yen. Budget for that on top. One expat on Reddit put it this way: I moved to Shibata for the Shinkansen access and the rice. 70 minutes to Tokyo, the best koshihikari I have ever eaten, and a 4-room house that cost less than 2 months of my old Tokyo rent. Nobody back home believes me. For the Japan-based expat or remote worker who wants Shinkansen access to Tokyo at a fraction of Tokyo prices. Not for anyone who has never lived outside a western city. That was Shibata, a Shinkansen connection and a castle town that most people in Tokyo have never visited. The next city sits inside one of the most photographed historic streetscapes in central Japan, and the price is lower. Tochigi City, Tochigi Prefecture. Tochigi City, Tochigi Prefecture, 90 kilometers north of Tokyo, a former Edo period silk and river trade town. The canals are still there. So are the Kura storehouses and 100-year-old Machiya merchant houses. Population, 155,000 in 2020, down 6% from 2010. Picture this. You are walking a street where every building is over a century old. Dark timber, white plaster, sliding paper doors. At the end of the block, a 2-story machiya with a rear garden and original tatami lists on Suumo at 2,500,000 yen. That is 16,500 US dollars. The same footprint in central Kyoto would list for 10 times that. Listings range 1,500,000 yen to 4 million yen per sumoandhomes.co.jp. Direct train to Shinjuku, 80 minutes on the Tobu Nikko line. Reality, older machiya often need renovation. Budget 1 million yen to 3 million yen for a full interior update. Old wooden buildings are cold in winter. Heating costs are real. One buyer who renovated a machiya there wrote online, the house was $16,500. The renovation was $20,000. The result looks like a boutique hotel. I get asked if I run an Airbnb every time someone visits. I do not. It is just my house. Let's talk about machiya heating for a second. A 100-year-old Japanese merchant house is beautiful in October. In January, it is a different conversation. The walls are timber and plaster. The windows are single glazed. One buyer described turning on the space heater and watching the heat disappear into the ceiling joists in real time. Budget for insulation. It is not optional. For the buyer who wants historic Japan within Kanto reach. Not for anyone needing a newly built home or an airport within 30 minutes. Tochigi City is $16,500 for a 100-year-old merchant house on a canal. The next city is in a UNESCO-adjacent Heritage Preservation District, and the price drops to $12,000. Mino, Gifu Prefecture. Mino, Gifu Prefecture, a mountain city of 19,000 people, 30 minutes north of Gifu City. Washi paper has been made here for over 1,300 years. The Udatsu townscape, Merchant houses with raised firewall gables, is a nationally designated historic preservation district. Population 19,200 in 2020, down 14% from 2010. Culturally intact and demographically in retreat. Picture this. October. The Udatsu Street is hung with paper lanterns for the Washi Festival. You pass a real estate window. Handwritten card. 1,800,000 yen. 3 rooms, rear courtyard, working kitchen. That is 12,000 US dollars. The lanterns are still lit outside. Prices range 800,000 yen to 3,500,000 yen per the Mino City Akiya Bank. Central General Hospital of Mino City, 6 minutes by car. Access to Nagoya, 65 minutes. Reality: the job market is almost non-existent outside craft heritage and public sector. Heating in a poorly insulated machiya can exceed expectations. Verify before you commit. A craft designer who moved there described it this way. I came to Mino for the Washi Paper Festival and ended up buying a house on the same street the next morning. The lanterns were still out. The real estate agent thought I was joking. I was not. A heritage preservation district for $12,000. The next city has a castle, a river valley, and renovation grants from the local government. And the price keeps dropping. Takahashi, Okayama Prefecture. Takahashi, Okayama Prefecture. A castle town in the Takahashi River Valley. Bichumatsuyama Castle sits at 430 meters, the highest castle in Japan still standing in its original form. Population, 28,000 in 2020, down 18% from 2010. Part of Okayama's official depopulation response program since 2016, meaning subsidized listings and renovation grants for buyers who commit to residency. Picture this. Morning fog. A castle keep emerging above the tree line, visible from the kitchen window of the house you are looking at. Timber frame, shoji screens, south-facing Engawa, listed on the Takahashi City Akiya Bank at 1,980,000 yen. That is 13,000 US dollars. The castle is 15 minutes on foot up the path behind the house. Listings range 500,000 yen to 4 million yen. Renovation subsidies of up to 1 million yen available for new residents. Okayama City, 55 minutes by JR Hakubi Line. Reality: remote, limited shopping, cold valley winters with reduced sunlight. The high street has vacancies. One buyer posted on an Expat Japan forum, "The grant covered half my renovation. The castle is visible from the kitchen. I make more working remotely from Takahashi than I spent on the house and the renovation combined. I keep waiting for the catch." Castle View renovation grants, $13,000 purchase price. If you could work remotely, would that be enough? Drop "I'm researching flights" or "still not ready" in the comments. Castle View, government grants, $13,000. The only question left is whether you are the kind of person who acts on a number like that, or the kind who saves it and comes back to it in 6 months. Both are valid. Only one moves. Castle, grants, valley, $13,000. The next city is on the Pacific coast. It was rebuilt after 2011, which means the housing stock is newer than almost anywhere else on this list. And the price is $18,500. Kesennuma, Miyagi Prefecture. Kesennuma, Miyagi Prefecture, a fishing port on the Pacific coast of Tohoku, 130 kilometers northeast of Sendai. Shark fin and bonito processing, hit hard by 2011 and rebuilt. The housing stock is newer than almost anywhere else on this list. Population, 61,000 in 2020, down 17% from 2010. Picture this: 6 in the morning, fishing boats coming in, 2 streets from the water, a 3-bedroom house with a new post-2013 roof lists on the Miyagi housing portal at 2,800,000 yen. That is 18,500 US dollars. The ocean is not a backdrop. It is the local economy, still running. Listings run 1,500,000 yen to 5 million yen per homes.co.jp. Kesennuma City Hospital, 10 minutes by car. Reality: tsunami risk zone. The city has engineered coastal defenses, but you must review the hazard maps on the Kesennuma municipal website before purchasing. Non-negotiable. A remote worker who relocated there wrote, 6 in the morning, the fishing boats are coming in. By 7, I am at my desk. The internet is fiber, the house cost $18,500, and the fish is the freshest I have eaten in my life. My commute is 0 minutes. Let's talk about the Kasenema morning schedule for a second. The fish market opens at 5. The boats are in by 6. By 7, the town is already fully running. If you're the kind of person who sleeps until 10, Kasenema will reorganize that habit without asking. The ocean does not wait for you to wake up. For the buyer who wants an active coastal town with a real working economy. Not for anyone who treats due diligence on coastal risk as optional. A working fishing port with post-2011 housing at $18,500. 5 cities in, and this list is not close to its floor. The next 5 are where the numbers stop making sense by any Western standard. Starting with a house inside Tokyo Prefecture for under $12,000. 5 cities in, and this list is not close to its floor. What you have seen so far, $12,000 in a heritage preservation district, $13,000 with a castle view and renovation grants, $18,500 in a working port town. Those are the moderate entries. The next 5 are where the numbers stop making sense by any Western standard. And number 10 is the one that started this entire video. Okutama, Tokyo Prefecture. Okutama, Tokyo. Not a typo. Tokyo Prefecture, the same administrative boundary as Shibuya and Shinjuku, but the western mountain edge of the capital, where the Tama River cuts through cedar forest. Around 5,000 residents in 2020, a fall of over 20% from 2010. The akiya rate in some neighborhoods exceeds 40%, per Okutama Town's published housing data from 2022. Picture this: 90 minutes by regular train from Shinjuku. You step off at Okutama Station surrounded by cedar. In the valley, a 4-bedroom house with a river view lists at 1,800,000 yen. That is 11,900 US dollars. The same train runs back to Shinjuku every hour. Listings run 500,000 yen to 3,500,000 yen. Nearest major hospital, Hachioji City Hospital, 55 minutes by car. The most significant practical limitation here. Reality? Hospital access requires planning. Mountain driving in snow requires winter tires. Some valley properties get limited winter sun. One Tokyo-based remote worker who bought there described it: "My address is technically Tokyo. My neighbor is a cedar tree. I take the train to Shinjuku for meetings and come back to the sound of the river. Nobody in my office believes the commute is 90 minutes each way from inside the capital." This is not for families who need a hospital in 10 minutes. The hospital is 55 minutes away, and that is the reality. But if you are a remote worker who wants a Tokyo address, a cedar forest, and a mortgage that costs less than your old monthly rent, Okutama is the only place in the world this sentence makes sense. A 4-bedroom house in Tokyo for $11,900. The next city is not in Tokyo, but it has a restored castle from 1665, pearl farming nets outside the window, and ocean water you can see from the 2nd floor. And the price falls to under $10,000. Uwajima, Ehime Prefecture. Uwajima, Ehime Prefecture, a small city on the southwestern tip of Shikoku Island, facing Uwa Sea, known for pearl and oyster farming, a restored castle from 1665, and one of the quietest corners of rural Japan. Population 72,000 in 2020, down 14% from 2010. Picture this: early evening, the tide is in. You're looking out from a 2nd-floor window at pearl farming nets floating in still water. The house behind you has 4 rooms, a traditional doma earthen entrance hall, and a view of Uwajima Castle on the hill. Listed on the Ehime Akiya Bank at 1,500,000 yen. That is 9,900 US dollars. The pearl nets are not decoration. People make a living from them. Listings range 800,000 yen to 3 million yen. Access to Matsuyama, 90 minutes by JR Yodo Line. Reality: Uwajima is genuinely remote. Nearest international airport is Matsuyama, 90 minutes away. The local economy is thin outside farming and government. An expat who moved from the US wrote, "I paid $9,900. The castle is on the hill. The pearl nets are outside the window. The nearest international airport is 90 minutes away, which means nobody visits unless they really mean it." That turned out to be a feature. Let's talk about aquaculture as a neighbor for a second. Pearl farming is quiet. Oyster farming is quiet. The boats go out before sunrise and come back with the tide. Your alarm clock is optional. Your relationship with the ocean is not. If you have never lived somewhere where the weather determines the working day, Uwajima will be an education. For the buyer who wants castle views and an active fishing economy outside the window. Not for anyone who treats remote as a deal breaker rather than a feature. castle, pearl nets, ocean water, $9,900. The next city has none of that visual drama. It is a quiet inland river city, and the price drops to $6,400. Yoshinagawa, Tokushima Prefecture. Yoshinagawa, Tokushima Prefecture, a small inland city on the Yoshino River in the center of Shikoku. Population 17,000 in 2020, down 16% from 2010. The river runs wide and clear through the valley. Picture this: a Saturday morning in March. You're cycling along the Yoshino riverbank, the mountains either side still with a trace of snow. Back in the city, a 2-story detached house, 3 bedrooms, tile roof, working bathroom, is listed at 980,000 yen on the Tokushima Akiya Bank. That is $6,400 US. Nobody in your city back home would believe that number. Listings run 500,000 yen to 2,500,000 yen. Yoshinagawa City Hospital, 8 minutes by car. Tokushima to Osaka by highway bus, 2.5 hours. Reality: limited local economy. Young people are leaving. Some cheaper listings will need renovation. Condition reports are available on the Akiya Bank portal. One buyer who moved from Osaka wrote, $6,400, 3 bedrooms, tile roof, river 10 minutes by bicycle. I spent more furnishing the place than buying it. My friends in Osaka are still paying 80,000 yen a month in rent. $6,400 for a 3-bedroom house with a river view and a bus to Osaka. What is the one thing that would make you seriously look it up? Drop it in the comments. $6,400, a river, a hospital 8 minutes away, a bus to Osaka. If that is not enough, nothing on this list will be. A river, 3 bedrooms, $6,400, and a bus to Osaka in 2.5 hours. The next city is in the mountains of Fukushima Prefecture, on the inland side, separated from the coast by 150 kilometers, and the price is $3,300. Nishiaizu, Fukushima Prefecture. Nishiaizu, Fukushima Prefecture, a mountain town of around 6,000 in western Fukushima's Aizu region, separated from the Pacific coast by multiple mountain ranges and over 150 kilometers of inland distance. This is not near the areas affected by 2011. Radiation monitoring data published monthly by Fukushima Prefecture confirms consistently normal background levels across the Aizu area. Population 6,100 in 2020, a 22% fall from 2010. Picture this: February, 3 meters of snow outside the window. Inside, a wood stove is running and the house is warm. 5 rooms. A traditional irori hearth in the main room, listed on the Nishiaizu Akiya Bank at 500,000 yen. That is $3,300 US. The wood stove is included. Fixed asset tax under 10,000 yen annually. Nearest hospital, Aizu Chuo Hospital, 45 minutes by car. Main employers, agriculture, forestry, sake brewing. Reality: 3 meters of snowfall is not a metaphor. Snow removal, roof reinforcement, and heating are structural costs here. A remote worker who spent a winter there wrote, 3 meters of snow is not a metaphor. It is what is outside the window on a Tuesday in January. The wood stove was included in the sale price. That turned out to be the most important line in the listing. Let's talk about snow country preparation for a second. 3 meters is not 3 feet. It is 3 meters. That is above the first floor windows. Roof clearing is not a weekend activity. It is a weekly structural requirement. Locals do it before work. If you buy in Nishiaizu, you are not buying a house. You are buying a winter management project that happens to have a wood stove and a sake brewery down the road. For the remote worker or retiree done with expensive cities who wants culturally intact rural Japan and can handle mountain winters. Not for anyone needing nearby services. A 5-room farmhouse with an airy hearth and a wood stove, included for $3,300. The next one is the listing that started this entire video, and the price is lower. Higashi-Okitama, Yamagata Prefecture. Higashi-Okitama, Yamagata Prefecture, a rural district in the inland mountains of Yamagata, surrounded by rice paddies and cedar-covered ridgelines. Population under 15,000 in 2020, down over 25% from 2010. One of the highest akiya rates in the prefecture. And then there is this listing. Picture this: a traditional Japanese farmhouse, not a wreck, standing, structurally sound. 2 stories, 6 rooms, A large living space with a working wood stove. Garden on 3 sides. Mountain view from the rear. Listed on the Yamagata Prefecture Akiya Bank at 380,000 yen. That is 2,500 US dollars. Fixed asset tax, under 8,000 yen annually. Nearest hospital, Nanyo City Hospital, 40 minutes by car. Yamagata is one of Japan's top rice-producing prefectures. Reality, renovation required. Budget 500,000 yen to 2 million yen, depending on inspection. That still puts the total under $16,000, worst case. The isolation is absolute. This is a full commitment to a different way of living. One buyer who visited the listing wrote, $2,500, 6 rooms, working wood stove, mountain view from the rear garden. I flew in from California to see it. The flight cost more than the house. This is not for the person still deciding whether rural Japan is something they could do. This is for the person who already knows the answer and is waiting for a reason to act. $2,500 is that reason. The listing is live right now. A $2,500 house in California would be a parking space. In Yamagata, it is a 6-room farmhouse with a mountain view and a working wood stove. Not a headline, a listing. Available right now. 10 cities. One finding, Japan's akiya crisis has created a property market with no equivalent anywhere in the Western world. The houses are real, prices are real. The listings are live on the akiya bank portals linked in the description. Check them this week because they move. If you're taking any of this seriously, and the numbers say you should, do 3 things. First, check the active listings on the specific city's akiya bank portal this week. Second, engage a judicial scrivener in Japan who works with foreign buyers before you do anything else. Third, spend 1 winter month in the location before you commit. 1 month. That tells you everything the listing photographs will not. Which of these 10 would you actually consider? And what is the one thing stopping you right now? Drop it in the comments. I read everyone.